So the wisest thing, and honestly, is to hit them and move back and wait for the whiff punish. Because a lot of people will just kind of hang themselves when they get interrupted, and now it's giving you more damage. So when you do hit somebody, be prepared for the retaliation. That's a very, very important word I stress and I emphasize, and I hope you guys burn that into your brain. Welcome, my Twitch viewers and my YouTube people in the future. All right, today, element number 7 of the Footsies Handbook. All right, this series where we break down the abstract, the abnormal, the alien, the superstitious ideas and beliefs of the footsie game, and we break it down into layman's terms. We convey it so that your grandmother can watch my series and be able to whiff punish Daigo the next time she runs into him in bracket. Okay, so that is the point of the series. So now, Footsie's element number 7. So let's read the little chapter 3 introduction. A cornered opponent cannot escape your attacks by backing away. This right here is the key to understanding why the corner is important. Okay, this is why you guys will stop jumping like gorillas at your cornered opponents and appreciate the advantage that you've worked so hard to attain. Obviously, this presents an opportunity to capitalize on a massive advantage if you know what to do. Like fire, it can build or destroy you. Having a cornered opponent is a very great and powerful thing, but it can fuck you up. Why could it fuck you up? I'll tell you why it'll fuck you up. Number 1, you could put yourself in the corner, okay? And that's not good. Number 2, you can put yourself in the corner. That's not good. Number 3, you can put yourself in the corner. That's not good. That's basically what I'm trying to get at, guys. I want you guys to stress in your mind that you don't want to take unnecessary risks when you have an opponent cornered, because you can end up graduating their position and demoting yours, okay? You make them get better, and then you make yourself get significantly worse, okay? So you have to appreciate what you've worked hard for. If you had $1,000 that you worked very hard for, you worked, you know, your hours for the week, you got your $2 grand, $1 grand, whatever the fuck you make, are you gonna just throw it out the window when you get your paycheck? No, makes no sense to do that. That's what you're doing when you jump at cornered opponents, or if you try to pressure too much, or you dash up on an opponent when they have V-trigger and you know they want to press a button. These are things you have to keep in mind. This segment focuses on the massive advantages gained by cornering your opponent. So, as you may have noticed, the capacity to safely, stealthily withdraw from an opponent's attack space is a crucial aspect of footsies. This is the key words right here. Safely and stealthily. So the reason why you want to be very sneaky about it is because the more deceptive you are about your ranges and what you're doing, then the opponent is more likely to commit to a mistake, and you capitalize on it and you just rinse, wash, repeat. But if you're so obvious with it, right? Let's say you button, walk back, or backdash and start shimmying in place. It's kind of obvious to higher level players what you're doing. But instead, what if you do button, tap back on your stick, right? You just tap back, and then now you're out of range of their longest poke. They don't see that tap back because it was so quick. See, deception is a very important part of footsies and fighting games, any competitive arena, to be honest, because you're fighting another opponent who wants to win just as bad as you. Backing your opponent against a wall negates their ability to walk backward, giving you sole control over when you're in and out of attack range. So the corner essentially is a limit on their movement. They can hold back, but they can't walk back anymore. So the only one that dictates the spacing is going to be you, okay? So this is something that's very important. Got to get that into your skull. Element number 7. Whenever you knock someone into the corner, establish a safe position slightly outside their reach. Then as soon as you get the feeling they're about to advance or let their guard down, you step forward and poke their toes with a low medium kick. Getting hit by one of these gives a lot of players the urge to retaliate with one of their own. Simply let it whiff, then strike their extended limb or throw them right back into the corner. However, keep in mind that veteran players often take a step forward before counter poking, so you might want to give them a little extra room. Okay, so we're going to go over this a couple times. Inside of Street Fighter V, we're going to go over the video examples right now. Upon me reading this, I'm going to give my initial impressions of how I'm interpreting this. So ideally, you want to be outside of their longest poke that would potentially reach you. Because if you're outside of the range of their longest poke, that means none of the other pokes matter, because they're not going to reach you. The only thing they can do is they can move forward so that they close the gap, and now they're in a range where their poke hits you again. See what I'm saying? So if they walk up and they hit you, and you're like, wait a minute, I was outside of range of this. How did this hit me? Now you know they're walking forward. So now you know, oh, if I stay here and I maybe delay walk back, they'll walk forward and whiff their button. Or if I stay here and I wiggle and I move up and I hit them while they walk up. You see what I'm saying? So I see this, I say, okay, I want to be outside of their longest poke. the longest poke. So let's say I have Ryu in the corner. I'm playing Akuma, I have Ryu in the corner. I would want to be outside of range of his solar plexus. Because if I'm outside of range of solar plexus, I'm outside of the range of low forward. See what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about low forward. But if that Ryu demonstrates to me that they don't use solar plexus, then I could get a little closer, and now I could dance outside of the range of the next longest poke, which would be low forward, I think, at that point. Maybe stand heavy kick, but you can crouch stand heavy kick. But you, of course, want to confirm how do they want to get out of the corner, because that's going to dictate a lot of the risks that you might want to take, okay? So I see that. And then another key thing that I see here is this part. So as soon as you get the feeling that they're about to advance or let their guard down, you step forward and poke their toes. Observation is very important here, okay? A lot of times when we're in the corner, you guys don't do this. You guys are just kind of running your offense. I even do it sometimes. I just kind of do shit. And then I end up killing myself because of it. So for you, if you're like a newer player, and this is something that's relatively new to you, I would suggest asking questions, because questions bring focus. So you have to start having a series of questions that you can flowchart to help you follow along with the actions that you probably want to take and train along your path of Street Fighterdom. Okay? So for me, let's say I'm a new player, I'd be like, all right, when does he move? When does he decide to kind of get out of the corner? And then that's the scope that you're trying to strike, is the timing of that. So you want to hit them a little bit before they actually commit to that action. They've committed to it mentally, but not physically. You see what I'm saying? They didn't execute it. This part right here was the part I was about to jump to. Getting hit by one of these gives a lot of players the urge to retaliate. So this is very, very crucial, not just in the corner, guys, but in general. When you hit somebody, especially when you counter hit somebody, that's when people tend to lash out. Think of it as a mental glitch. Because typically when you act in a fighting game, you're doing something because you think it'll work. So when you get hit while trying to do something, it's like a mental glitch. It's like just like this glitch, right? You're just like, oh shit, what the hell? This disruption in your brain fucks you up for a couple of seconds, and then that's when like fight or flight shit tends to happen, okay? So whenever you counter hit somebody, I would suggest that's when you watch people the most, because they're going to reveal a lot about themselves in those situations, because that's when people get flustered. You understand what I'm saying? When you're counter hitting somebody consistently, that's when people start to think nothing is working. So guess what happens when a person's back is against the wall and they feel like nothing logical is working? They are going to start lashing out. They are going to start doing crazy shit. A lot of times what we perceive as crazy, though, is not crazy to them. It's actually their strategy, or that's just how they play. Some players, not gonna name them, they love jumping out the corner as soon as you corner them. They just jump. They just fucking jump. And that's just something you have to accept. Not because they crack, but some people, everybody cracks differently, right? So not everybody's gonna crack the same way. Not everybody's gonna jump when they get counter hit. Not everybody's gonna retaliate with a crush counter when they get counter hit. Not everybody's gonna dash up when they get counter hit. You see what I'm saying? Some people, they become super defensive. Some people, they backdash. Some people, they jump away. Some people, they mash DP. Some people, they mash a light. Random, right? Weird shiz. And then typically, when you do hit this, right, when you hit these people and they try to get the retaliation poke, the eye for an eye, they want to get their revenge, you set up the whiff punish. The reason why, myself included, like, I used to do this, right? But I've gotten so greedy with my damage because of the fear of Street Fighter V sometimes, which Sagat, that, like, I would hit somebody and I want to keep it up, right? I want to keep steamrolling them. But can't do that. Sagat's not that type of character, for one. And two, because of the speed of the game, because we're online, it just doesn't make sense to do that. So the wisest thing, and honestly, is to hit them and move back and wait for the whiff punish. Because a lot of people will just kind of hang themselves when they get interrupted, and now it's giving you more damage. You know what I'm saying? It's giving you even greater consistency, because that whiff punish can now present you the opportunity of Oki, pressure, instead of you taking the riskier option and moving up on them. You know what I'm saying? So when you do hit somebody, be prepared for the retaliation. That's a very, very important word I stress and I emphasize, and I hope you guys burn that into your brain. But when you do play the smarter players, just be mindful again that these players might take a step forward because they know they're not in the range of their pokes. And that's where the mind games begin. All right? So certain players, you don't have to, there's no mind game. They just do what they do because they're selfish. Other players, the more mindful players, the more alert players, there's a mind game there. So you can actually have a conversation and a dialogue. Some people, they'll talk to you and everything's cool and dandy until you tell them that your favorite color is not blue. Then they start lashing out and jumping at you. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what's happening here. It's that conversation. So these are the visual examples of what you can do. All right, so we're gonna check out the first one. Okay, so this is when you strike their extended limb. So this is the whiff punish. Okay, hold up. What the? Oh, okay. You saw how fast that was? So she pushes herself away, all right? She pushes herself away, and then we say, okay, what does Cammy do? And she went into the whiff punish mode, okay? So I'm going to slow this down, put this at 0.5 so you guys can see this. So stand strong, crouch jab, low forward. The low forward, I think it hits. I think it hit there. I don't know. But you see, it whiffed, and she gets a whiff punish. Okay? And you see what happened? Look, he jumped. Cammy messed up the anti-air, but you see what happened. Basically what we just talked about. Right? We got the poke. Boom. Boom. Low forward hits. Retaliation poke. Bam. And then look at the retaliation jump. See? So Cammy messed up here. Probably tried a DP and instead got stand heavy kick, because I don't think there was a reason for her to do stand heavy kick this far, because it obviously wasn't going to hit, even if Balrog was in the corner. So it's probably an execution error. All right. So this is something you can keep in mind. When you hit your opponent, you got to think of it as, I'm enticing you. I'm telling you, hey, do something at lower level. That's how they see it. When you hit somebody, it's eye for an eye. I got to get my revenge. Okay? Because people see damage as winning. So anytime you do damage to a lower level player or somebody that's not disciplined or emotional, they need to get revenge. Okay? Because they think that they're losing. You're not losing just because you got hit. Even if you have less health than somebody, doesn't mean you're technically losing, because you can be in a better position, better situation, better meter management, right? It's not just that simple, but it is to simpletons, okay? So be mindful of this. So now let's go to the other example. So this right here is going to be the walk-up throw version of this. Okay. Now, that was pretty sick. Let's watch this in slow motion, see what just happened. Okay, right? So you see, he got the low forward, walks back. Why does he walk back? Because John Choi is a smart player, right? So he got hit, and you see John Choi walked up and thought he would still be right here, okay? But Edma, step ahead. He walked back, and because a smart player sees that he made such a glaring mistake like that, he kind of freezes up. And now Akuma walks up and throws him. Let's go into some, again, of my initial interpretations of this element. So initially, it reminds me of the fact that people will retaliate when they get hit, especially when they have access to V-Trigger or Super. This style is consistent in a game like Street Fighter V because defense in general is not rewarding, okay? So just because you're doing this doesn't mean you're being defensive, right? You can still be counter offensive. It means just your presence is enough to generate pressure. You understand? Pressure doesn't mean I always have to do something. Pressure is simply presence. Understand, guys? To add on to this one, the one before this, the style is consistent in a game like Street Fighter V because the defense in general is not rewarding. Because like V-reversal doesn't really, it's not consistently strong, right? The reason why a defensive situation is scary, like if you're on offense and you're on defense and it's scary, is because it'll lead into offense. You see what I'm saying? It's not because this defensive situation is gonna put me in this, like, it's hard to be. No, we're not gonna go back to neutral. It's most likely because I'm gonna get offense from this defense. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So that's why defense is scary in this game, is because it leads to offense. It's not because defense is a scary thing. You understand? Like, there's nothing scary about being on the defense because anybody in this game looks like they have fucking great offense when they're on offense. Oh, yeah. So, some players are going to be oblivious to this element, whereas others will dance with you. Higher level players are more likely to see the distance and close before acting. These players you can create a mind game with. Weaker players, you're not really gonna have mind games with weak players. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna just do what they want because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So those players, you just let them do what they do, okay? So now, let's get into the match. Let's play about about like 20 games. And let's see what we can do. Corner time. Okay. Look at this. Killed himself. Oh, that was punishable. I thought he had V-trigger. Okay. But alright, so you guys see with Vega, right? It was very simple. We just kind of kept him there and he revealed himself. This is what mad people do. A lot of people do this stuff. But if you talk out loud and express what they're doing, it's a lot easier for you to make this a habit. Okay? It's just why I like streaming when I train shit. Because this is something I've kind of lost in Street Fighter 5. Is this, to a degree. I always feel like I have to do something. But you don't always have to do stuff. Okay, now we begin. Okay. So the V trigger activate, I have to look out for it because I know he wants it. I know he wants a sweep. Oh, you got crush counter on your DP. Oh, that sucks. That's funny. Okay, finally. Corner time. Ah, that's a punish. What? That was funny. Yo, how goes the Sagat journey? I see you playing them again. So he has Cobra tendencies. Oh, that sucks. Rollback is swag. What? See, that activation is not bad. Oh, I thought that works. I swear that works. Doesn't that work? Or is it? I don't even. Whatever. See? Every time he gets hit, he's retaliating. Every fucking time. See? Look at this! This is fucking crazy. Wow. I know you can't play the fireball game. You cannot do that. Yeah, like you see, he has the eye for an eye mentality, and that's like his. See. That's I think that's his downfall. Joe, what up, baby? What's cracking, brother? Let's talk, sir. Chilling, man. Hey, listen, I wanted to just impart you with some experience, some conversation to just make you a better player, you know what I'm saying? So like when we played, right? I think for you, you understand your character really well. You have great offense. You know what I'm saying? The thing, like, I think you should be more mindful of is that your damage is that I'm doing to you, that I'm dealing to you, is literally coming off of this eye for an eye mentality that you have. I don't know if you know you have it.
I mentioned it. You got like 5,000 damage punishing my like reversal fireball because it was like a weird tick, and he punished it super hard as Ryu. But I think I'm better at adjusting as Akuma.
Yeah, but even so, I agree. I definitely think, like, of course, it has something to do with that, right? But I'm still punishing you the same ways with 2 different characters, right? So,
yeah,
like, and it's not even just fireballs. I'm talking about whiff punishes, because my whiff punishes, I'm still not, like, the greatest with Akuma yet, right? But when I would get you, it was always when I would hit you, and I knew you were going to retaliate poke every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He punished me like super hard so many times for that.
Yeah, so, like, what I suggest is, like, when you get hit, you gotta practice chilling the fuck out, because you're constantly trying to hit me back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get hit, it's not the end of the world, Joe. Like, you're good. Like, you have confidence in your play. You don't need to always have a life lead in order to win. If you have somebody in a better position, like a position that works out for you, you're winning. You don't have to hit me. You know what I'm saying? Just to get some sort of, I guess, like, fulfillment in your strategy. Like, you're great, you're good as a player, and you just gotta do the things that you do that work, but you keep trying to force shit when you fuck up.
Yeah, it's honestly it's a habit that has gotten me pretty far. It's like a weird thing people
Yeah.
know how to punish,
Right.
but obviously you know how to punish it very hard. So
Yeah. It's different.
habits in general are just not that good to have, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, as long as you're aware of it, it's okay, right? Like, you're aware of it, right? That's fine, but
Yeah.
when you're aware of it, it's also knowing when it's not fucking appropriate. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay to, like, the first round, you do it, you get hit. All right, it's not the end of the world, right? Maybe you get hit 2-3 times. Okay, it's not the end of the world. You have a round, right? But you got to adjust, bro. Because honestly, those rounds, I was literally just like, I'm gonna wait for the hit, and then I'm gonna just steamroll you after that. That's all I did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything fancy. It was just, yo, I'm gonna hit you, or I'm gonna hit you with a fireball or a poke and wait for the retaliation. And either it's gonna be a fireball or it's a whiff punish. You know what I'm saying? And that was literally it, bro.
I have a notebook right here for this exact purpose. I'm gonna write it down.
Perfect.
I need a pen though. God damn it.
No! Unfortunately not punished. Zap does get the corner though. EX knee after. It's gonna be an advantage. That's big. Walk back fierce, activate Kara uppercut. Painted. This is a punish.
This
You
is
know
big.
Zap's gonna take it as a stun. And this may be the